Welcome to another episode of AnswerStock. Let's get to some talking points today. Paul, what do you think about this KBIO CEO being arrested?
Well, it's interesting because I didn't read about his background, but I guess if anyone cared to, honestly, because I really didn't care about it, I didn't trade the stock a whole lot because I was traveling on those days. But if anyone cared to read the background, I guess this Retrofin, the public company that he founded, had a bunch of pending lawsuits against him with some questionable stuff. And knowing that, I guess I'm not too surprised. I think he asked for it. I think the lesson is, and it's a lesson I've learned throughout my trading career the hard way, is don't get too cocky, don't get too arrogant, don't get too prideful. You're
Don't be a cocky kid.
One trade away from humility. But I think this guy got too cocky, and they really went after him. But it looks like some things. It looks like some things are really bad for him personally. But I also feel for the longs of KBIO because that could be a very ugly situation. He owns the majority of it. He's obviously not going to be allowed to own stock, so who knows what's going to happen there.
Now he's going to get cocky in jail.
I don't know, but no, we were talking about in my chat today, is he going to go Jordan Belfort and start ratting out all his friends to get some time off,
All I care about is that now, hopefully, the government will seize the Wu-Tang album and we can all hear it.
Wu-Tang Clan?
For those of you who don't know, it was Martin, CEO of KBIO, who bought the Wu-Tang Clan album. No joke. He paid $2 million for it and apparently hasn't even listened to it because he's too busy manipulating stocks, allegedly. Matt, what do you think about the whole KBIO situation?
Well, when I woke up this morning and read the news after 2 hours of sleep, I felt pretty good about it. It was really good to see justice be served. Talk about
still innocent until proven guilty. We're not in Russia here.
No, that's not how America is.
Whoa, be careful, buddy. This is
easy there.
This is the country that just made you a millionaire, and this is how you're going to treat it. What are you? You're trying out to be a character on Homeland?
He ran around and was just like he thought he was a badass, and he put his neck out there, and then all of a sudden he got squashed. And you read that thing, didn't his friend also buy KBIO at
Wait, but to be clear, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but today's charges don't have anything yet to do with KBIO. It has to do with his hedge fund and RTRX, the prior public company. But that's the question I was going to pose back at Tim and you also, Matt. Do you think that there was anything shady or illegal possibly with the way the short squeeze went down in KBIO when he bought up all the shares?
Yeah, there's a lot of questionable behavior. His entire life is a case study of questionable behavior, from his online dating profiles and messages, which are now public, to his Wu-Tang buying, to his hedge fund days. Jim Cramer was saying he just opened the mail. He wasn't a part of really Jim Cramer's hedge fund. And the fact that he really took over this biotech company, but he's really more of a financial guy. So, in effect, he kind of constructed the perfect short squeeze. So I wouldn't be surprised if KBIO shorts actually have a pretty good chance at a lawsuit against him and his friends. Given what he's done in the past, now he's kind of been outed as this, Dr. Evil with hair. And, maybe he should have shaved his head like Matt should, and then he would have been okay. Maybe that's the lesson with all of this. Dr. Evil, I don't think he ever got caught, did he? I don't remember what happened in this.
No, he always escaped.
Yeah, exactly. So if Martin had shaved his head, like Matt is going to shave his head on Friday.
I'm not shaving my head. I just want to stomp that out right now.
I don't believe that. Yeah, don't worry. I don't believe
that's never going to happen until it falls out itself.
But what you said to me earlier was that you
didn't say that.
Get back to kids at the holidays and make them little dolls made out of your hair. I thought you wanted to get into the charity game with me, Matt, and this is your start.
This is my start going completely man-bald?
It's not about you. It's about the kids. The kids need something to play with. A little hair doll would be perfect.
I'd rather buy 1,000 dolls. than shave.
What?
I'd rather buy $1,000
digress.
than shave my head.
We digress from AnswerStock.
Yeah.
This is AnswerStock. We have all the answers in the world.
So Matt, you're a big, Federal Reserve. Really, always have your finger on the macro. You do a great job at that. I wanted to hear what your thought was on the Fed raising as it is going to impact the market, any kind of sectors or anything like that, because that's something you always have your finger on the pulse on.
Yeah, I think that overall it's a normalization of rates. It's not anything like doomsday, what people have been putting it out to be. And the reason this is that the Fed has always kept rates at usually around 2%, and it has the ability to usually cut them, but they were at 0. And so what we're starting to see is a normalization. It could actually, in the shorter term, put the market into an overdrive.
Right.
As the market moves, with that. And also what we saw was a very positive reaction from the market when they released the Thursday.
And I noticed there's such a negative sentiment on 2016 that I can see the potential for a after Christmas, after New Year's squeeze. But for me, it's just like, listen, I've been trading stocks 18 years. I've been through bull markets, bear markets, great recessions, whatever you want to call it, Chinese fraud eras. And there's always tradable opportunities in every market, long and short. And that's what I want new traders and traders out there that don't know, that understand. There's always going to be opportunities to go long, to go short. There's going to be sectors, even in the worst markets, there's bullish sectors, and even in the best markets, there's bearish sectors. There's always going to be something, and so that's where research and staying on top of what's hot, daily percentage gainers, etc., comes into play. Because I've still had some good earnings winners, and I know you've had a lot of winners, long and short, but point is, there's going to be opportunity in any market. And I think sometimes traders stress too much. They're reading the headlines and CNBC, and it's either doom and gloom or what they're thinking. I'm always, let's just find individual stories, individual opportunities.
Exactly.
Let me get to one question from one reader. Sorry. This is Aaron from Ohio. And he said, to each of you guys, what is your best tip to make 2016 the best year ever? What is your best lesson? Matt, you can start.
Okay, go ahead, Matt.
It's just kind of really what Paul reiterated, was the fact that, you have to be looking for those opportunities in any market that you trade. To make 2016 successful for yourself, you're going to have to put in the time, the work, and the effort as the market starts to normalize itself here a little bit, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult trading, in my opinion. So stay nimble, I would say. But overall, every year that the market goes by, there's plenty of opportunities. Look at oil and even the S&P 500 or this bull market we've been in. I mean, oil was a great short from $80 a barrel all the way down into the low 30s, and then you had the market at the same time reaching all-time new highs. It was a complete dichotomy a break between those two things. So there's always going to be opportunities out there. You just can't pigeonhole yourself to just thinking like, oh, well, the market doesn't have anything for me, so I'm done.
Yeah, and
very good answer. What do you think about that, Superman?
Yeah, I mean, as far as what you can do to focus on to be successful in 2016 is discipline and rules, and that's what I think the three of us teach and stress, that discipline and rules and research, and because opportunity is going to come there, and you need to be researching. Like what I'm having a lot of my students do is research what top potential momentum sectors are in 2016. And an example could be security. If we keep seeing, I hope we don't keep seeing these incidents, but companies that provide security in all forms could have another momentum. And we've seen that sector throughout the years kind of pop and have momentum. I hate to see it happen, but it could. But so you want to research potential sectors that are going to have momentum, and then you want to be learning and focusing discipline and rules. So when you do trade, you're not gunslinging, but you know how to create a trade plan and minimize losses and maximize gains.
I'm gonna go against you guys just for a little bit because I'm opposite Tim, and I'm gonna say, don't have any rules. Go all in. Don't think on your own. Always follow other people's alerts. Use leverage when you can. If a stock is going against you, double, triple, quadruple down, and hope and pray that it comes back.
So everything Tim just said.
I'm totally sarcastic right now, but all of us have been preaching, cut losses quickly, find your own pattern, don't follow anybody else's trades, and still people ignore it. So maybe if I, make fun of this and turn opposite, maybe you'll understand how dangerous it is to follow other people, to not think on your own, to not know. Like I know some people, they like to guess on earnings. And people are like, oh, I know this company's product. I think earnings are going to be good. I'm just going to buy. And I'm like, you don't know shit. Like, you think you know the company's product? What if the CEO says, hey, this was a record year, but guess what? There's a little startup in fucking Akron, Ohio that's starting up, and we're screwed next year, and the stock drops 90%, and all of your analytics and all of your retail channel checks and all that bullshit in the past is totally irrelevant because you can't predict the future of any earnings conference call. So for me,
Tim, I can give a great example that you would like me to, because you're going to love this.
But you have to do it. You have to give the example as opposite Superman so that people get the point.
No, but you're going to love this one because it was MTSL. And it was a stock it was years ago. I had a big position, and I did
predict. You went all in.
I had a 2-bit oversized position.
And you used leverage.
And
you told everybody to follow.
Here's the thing. I did predict earnings to a penny, and if that was all that happened, I was going to be right, and the stock was going to double. However, even though I predicted earnings, they lost their major customer out of the blue. So they announced the earnings I predicted, but out of the blue, they lost a customer, and the stock was cut in half, blah, blah, blah. So I was right on earnings, but you just don't know. You can't take these risks.
All right. You weren't opposite Superman, but you gave a really good fucking example. So I'll give you it there.
I don't want to be opposite Superman because then I can see someone trying to cut clips of just that video out of...
I thought about that as I was saying that, and I was like, I don't care. Take it out of context. Hopefully you guys get me and you get our points. You got to be safe. Part of our success, we're all millionaire traders now, but our success is not because we use leverage or we go all in or we think we know everything. It's, being safe and trying to take a single here or there. And sometimes when a pattern sets up right, when there's a low float stock that looks like they're going to have good news at a future date or something like that, when you have the right setup. But you don't always have the right setup. You're not always going to have the perfect pitch. So most of the time, you really, really have to trade ultra safe. And especially, as Matt said, I do believe the beginning of 2016 might be a little tough, especially if you haven't learned to short sell yet. My number one tip for 2016 is nothing complicated. It's very simple. But for me, simple works. And that is you don't have to be bullish. Okay? You do not work on Wall Street. You don't have some bullshit suit and tie. You're not a whore for commissions. Your business is yourself, and you're trying to grow your small account. And so you need to be agile. You don't even need to wear a suit. I'm not even wearing any underpants right now. It doesn't matter. Okay? What matters is that
Sorry.
What matters is that I'm agile. Okay? I can jump out of bed. I can go short a stock. I can go long a stock. I can do whatever I want if I think that there's a good chance of making money from it on a trade. You want to take high odds situations, setup after setup after setup, and even if you lose sometimes, which all of us do, you cut losses quickly and you move on to the next high odds setup. And between Superman, Matt, and I, we all teach high odds setups that work for us, and we're not exactly the same. We all have different personalities, but you can learn from us, and you can use what we know to create your own trading plan that you follow. What do you think about that, Matt?
I say amen to all of it.
Beautiful. All right, one last question. This is from a female. We have female students, too. This is from Sharon in Massachusetts. And she said, Superman, are you single? Can we go out sometime?
I am single, and yeah, I am single. So
ready to mingle.
I don't know. There's no little JPEG. I don't know what she looks like or anything.
Shoot me an email. Superman Trades, all one word at Gmail, and we'll go from there. But
But Matt and I are in serious committed relationships, as is Ben, our video guy, who has a freakish, horrific.
So ladies, just to clarify, Tim, Matt, and Ben are in committed relationships. Superman is single.
This has been another AnswerStock. Ladies out there, talk with Superman. Look at that face. Look at that tan. Superman, can you flex a little? Look at these muscles. Hold on. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. He just broke my screen. This is Superman's year. Perhaps the #1 tip is don't even work if you're a female. Just get in with Superman because he's fucking rich.
That's the tip of today's AnswerStock.
That is AnswerStock. See you guys next week. Send an email to admin@timothysykes.com if you want your questions answered or a date with Superman.
My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire. So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade.